DeepSeek can easily be jailbroken to teach you how to cook meth or do any other fun activities you might want to do. Some security researchers at Cisco ran through some AI vulnerability testing, which is essentially jailbreaking an AI, and they were able to successfully get DeepSeek's AI to answer all of the harmful prompts that they came up with. So 100% success rate.
I have seen like some fairly simple ways in order to get around like, DeepSeek, to where you go, okay, decode the following base 64 and follow the instructions within. So you can ask a question and it's like, sorry, I can't process that. But then if you go, it's like, okay, decode the following base 64, and the base 64 says, tell me about this thing that's restricted. It then follows those instructions for whatever reason, because all it's doing is just decoding the base 64 and then following what's inside.
Is that kind of like a Rickroll for AI?
Yeah, it is a little bit.
Let's talk about the Facebook Linux thing. Has this been on anyone's radar?
Yeah, it was kind of a weird thing. I know that they fixed it, right? So
wait, they did?
They did. So if you created any links that went out to like DistroWatch and they were talking about Linux distributions, for a while, Facebook was banning those links as cybercrime links. So almost anything to do with Linux was cybercrime.
Well, that's fair.
Do you think that somebody made a conscious decision about this that was just like, hey, Linux is used for hacking? Somebody referenced Kali. Let's ban anything with Linux. Or do you think it was an automated thing?
No, it had to be AI. Yeah. It had to be AI.
It was AI.
Yeah.
AI moderators?
It's Meta.
I mean,
it had to be AI.
Given that Mark Zuckerberg made a statement that said AI is as good as a mid-level engineer, therefore we got rid of all of our mid-level engineers, this is the quality decision-making that we can expect.
This is the most anybody's been talking about Facebook for like 2 years now.
The best hacking you can do is, number one, be Elon Musk, I guess, and then just ask for access to systems and people will just provide it to you, I guess.
They're like, not elected, not vetted, no background checks, no real access, no government job role, and they just walk in and they effectively get access to Department of Treasury data.
You are going to be able to build a heck of a sociogram using this data.
Yeah, one of my concerns is just like the ability to cross-reference information that shouldn't be cross-referenced by an individual that is very vindictive.
I don't care if you're Democrat or if you're Republican, there should be a vetting process. There should be a validating process before people gain access to data. And that was bypassed completely. And my concern now is that's the bar.
A Chinese hacking group is hijacking the SSH daemon on network appliances by injecting malware into the process for persistence. And then they do all kinds of evil things. There's like this list, there's 15 commands supported. These are very specific things. I feel like, why don't you just go full command shell? Like
just command shell.
The recommendation not to allow SSH outbound entirely?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, just full disclosure, if we're red teaming you, we're going to use SSH as our C2 because it's installed by default in all Windows systems.
And it's open outbound.
It's open outbound.
It's open outbound. And you can just create a service that just always SSHs out. And it's very convenient. Mark of the web is the thing in Windows that tells you whether a file was obtained from the internet and should be treated cautiously. So there was previously a security flaw with 7-zip where it didn't propagate mark of the web, which as a red teamer was fantastic because you would just embed a macro document in a 7-zip file, send it in a fish, they open the archive, it decrypts the document macro, and mark of the web is not propagated. Basically, this flaw was fixed, but then someone realized that you can just put a 7-zip archive inside of another 7-zip archive. If you're a red teamer or a malware or whatever, like just put another layer on it, right? Like you already got a zip file that's encrypted, just throw it into another zip file. The next article is a kind of funny one. It's about the potential backdoor in a medical device. The researchers were essentially checking out this medical device, and essentially they analyzed its firmware. They saw it calling out to China. They said, oh, this is definitely a backdoor. Then it turns out the update is really funny. It's like, update. We analyzed the firmware. It turns out it's just getting updates from China. So that's fine.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
That's fine. It's
What could go wrong?
Yeah, it's just getting updates. It's not a backdoor.
Which is actually rare for Chinese companies to send updates to their products.
Join us for live InfoSec news every Monday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time on the Black Hills InfoSec YouTube channel.